Hi, this is IK. Welcome to Thunk. This is first of series of about Thunk. Why must be serious? Why don't I spoke about Thunk in one video? Because there is a lot of to say. For something of that we heard before. For example, this is Thunk. Fetch post is Thunk. What is it? Function, object. It is function, it is object. It is variable. It is like that in functional programming. Look at functional programming. Object equal variable equal function equal object, about that. And declarative programming, it is excellent example for declarative programming. Declarative programming is little programming, less coding, but have all what we need. We must exercise and then exercise coding and learn, and after that we like declarative. As me, I like declarative programming. I coming here from imperative programming. But okay, look at what we have from this code. It is Thunk. Left side of equation is object. Right side is create asynchronous Thunk function, create asynchronous Thunk, and that function create Thunk. It is right side. It is Thunk. Concretely, it is function. Create asynchronous Thunk is function, but inside that function, we have two parameters. One parameter is a string, like this, and other parameter is a function, arrow function. In front of that, we have keyword async. We used that in before, and follow arrow function, and in body of arrow function we have again object, declare object, and equal that object equal again function get method of library Axios, and keyword await in front of that. Parameter of get is endpoint mock server address, a console log. It is only for our control, and return response data. Something of that is known to us. Look at how many terms I spoke of. Object, create asynchronous Thunk. It is a function. That function, there is two parameters. One parameter strings, second parameter is arrow function, and arrow function, and in the body there is a response, declaration of response, etc. But short. One video for every of these termin. And here, what term I will explain here? No one. I try to look panoramic picture. Okay, we have here Thunk. Here is Thunk. Export fetch post equal Thunk. And that Thunk must give us array of post from a mock server, and display it, and it must be displayed on our web page. Okay, we call component post list. In use effect, we have dispatch fetch post. It is known for us, dispatch, and it is dispatch like any regular dispatch now when we look at in this. But this dispatch, but is not regular. This dispatch for argument, there is no action creator, but there is a function what will produce action creator. Produce action creator. We are one step longer from regular action creator. One function longer. It is here. It is function fetch post, but that function is Thunk, and that Thunk we see that Thunk there is a function, arrow function. Okay, and about detail in some of next video. Here is a use effect. It is known tactic. In use effect, we have dispatch fetch post. When post list mount activate use effect, and use effect in body there is a dispatch fetch post, and dispatch fetch post, after that we have post from mock server in our page. Look at here. Here it is, post. This is post. Look at refresh. Loading, and after that we have this post. Now I will not speak about add a new post, only list of post. It is list of post. F12 to see Redux. Here it is. But I will go here in better. Okay, in Google browser, refresh again. Look at a type of action. This is type of action. Post, fetch post, pending. Post, fetch post, fulfilled. It coming from Thunk. But Thunk is in combination. Thunk cannot live without post slice, without extra reducers. Extra reducers is something new, ready for some video in the future. We have not reducers. It is empty object. we have no reducers, but we have extra reducers here. We can have a reducer if we need, but for now, here we have only extra reducers. What is difference between reducers and extra reducers? Reducers have dispatch action creator, but extra reducers go with the Thunk, and the Thunk dispatch function, and after function dispatch function Thunk function, and that function create action creator. We will see how. And the function asynchron, here it is in post list. No, it is in post slice. This fetch post, this import create asynchron Thunk, that function create asynchron Thunk, that function have connection with extra reducer. Have connection with extra reducer. And look at here, it is endpoint of mock server. Here it is remote. Here is array of post. And Redux, here is Redux, is state manager who must know what happened in asynchron process, must manage etap phase in data flow in asynchron part of process. And because of that, we need Thunk. And Thunk coming with the Redux.js toolkit, import from that. It is when we install a Redux toolkit, we have Thunk, and because here is a function create asynchron, what we use to create Thunk. Here it is. Okay, we write this, of course, in post slice. Here is a extra reducer, and that extra reducer, look at here, fetch post pending, fetch post fulfilled, fetch post reject. In some of next video I make that would be rejected. Now we have pending and fulfilled. We have one word more, it is post s in front of that, and we will see where it is. Look at here, post s fetch post. Here it is. In Thunk function we have one argument is post s fetch post, and down we have here fetch post dot pending, and together we have post s fetch post s pending. Here post s fetch post fulfilled. Look at how that combination between Thunk and extra reducer is connected without to see explicitly like imperative programming. We have all that connection, but now we don't know that Thunk is connected with extra reducer. If you don't learn that, read that, and like you now hear it about it in this video. Fulfilled. Back to it is fulfilled. Why we call that extra reducer? Because it is a reducer for asynchron process. Reducer for asynchron process. Thunk is, we need Thunk for asynchron process, because Redux must know in every phase of that process must build state, immutable update state. And look at here, state, there is a status loading, there is a status succeeded, and state, our state now is not only array like before when we learn Redux with the data not take from asynchron. Now we take data from asynchron process, from remote server, and data now is post slice. Look at initial state. Initial state before was only post. Now initial array post, but now it is not. Now is object curly brackets, and there is three fields, three properties. One is post. It is properties equal array. Now is empty array. Initial value, initial state, status properties, second properties, now idle, and error properties now null. That initial properties would be connect with the array what coming from server, mock server. Here it is, would be concat with the array from server. And when process finished, we will see on the screen this our React application and this post. Okay, I think that I said all, and in that all there is a lot of material for next video. Again, Redux, first time I have here Redux and asynchron process. Asynchron fetch data from remote server, and we had fetch data from remote server, but without Redux. Only React take data from remote server, and React is not state manager. React use fetch data or Axios library and take array from mock server and set state, use state, and set state immutable update state on the component. Now with Redux we have central state, global central state. It is separate application. Redux is application outside of React but connected with React. And Redux is high category state manager. And Redux need to know status, post, status, and error. Not only post, but post, status, and error. Here it is. And post will come from server. That array is on the server. Status and error will come from promise, but and status, you look at, we have here promise. Without promise don't go. We have asynchron keyword, async and await. All about that in the next, but about that we spoke in recently video about asynchron fetch data. Okay, but back here, Redux must know status. What is status? Status is we speak about that when process of asynchron, when dispatch start, we have this. We have pending, and here we declare what status would be for pending. We can set what we want, but it is loading. And there is fetch post fulfilled. It means that process is okay, and we have array back, and we can concat that array. It is fulfilled, and status in that moment is succeeded. Before pending, we have idle, and here it's not interesting for us. Here is interesting for us only pending. It is a starting point when dispatch of Thunk start. It is start pending until data is in response, fulfilled, all is okay, and in that moment is fulfilled. And pending can be longer time, and because of that we call that loading. And in that period we can activate loading animation. Okay. For the first time, I take care to said what I not must to said in the next video, and repeat again. Redux need actions. Actions is plain object. Actions from asynchron process. From asynchron process. Object, plain object. It needs action type and action payload. Action type and action payload. Plain object. For every actions, how many actions there is in asynchronous process, every action must be dispatched to store, Redux store, and dispatch to reducer. And now state in store is object. There is a post, status, and error. Before it was only array. It was only array post. Now we have that tree, and it is our state. We see that fields, that properties, status and error, coming here, it is new here, and because of asynchronous processes, that Redux must know what happened in asynchronous processes, must manage all that and build logic about that, etc. Post list. When there is dispatch is always dispatch. It is a method of store, but this dispatch take fetch post Thunk and dispatch fetch post Thunk to store. Here it is. It is like that, to store. After that, when that connection exists, after that, fetch post, that Thunk send action, but dispatch don't go back and take it. No, fetch post Thunk, there is a open possibility. There is a parameter dispatch. One of parameter, there is two parameters. One is dispatch. And after this dispatch, first dispatch here, it is like we have a channel between store and component, and a channel between store and Thunk. And through that channel, Thunk with the open dispatch, parameter dispatch, send actions, plural actions, if there is how many actions had about asynchronous process. Okay. Look at fetch post. Where is that parameter? Dispatch. Fetch post is in post slice here. Here it is. We don't see here this dispatch. But it is exist. We don't see here connection between create asynchronous Thunk and all this code. Thunk. We don't have connection with extra reducer, but it is exist. We don't see parameter dispatch, but it is exist, and it is dispatch action by action about what we spoke in. I spoke in some of next video. And the Thunk, there is a two parameter, dispatch and get state. Both parameter is method of store. Dispatch is a method of store. What Thunk must have it because will send actions, asynchronous actions from asynchronous process. That actions send to store, to reducer in store. Redux store. And get state is also method of store, get state. And here in this situation, we don't need that parameter. We don't see any of them, but dispatch exists, and get state not important here. We will see Thunk is not only for asynchronous fetch data, but only for synchronous programming. And we will see that example in the next video. And in that example, we will see parameters dispatch and get state. It means that Thunk is with Thunk we meet Thunk now when spoke about Redux and asynchronous fetch data, and in that moment Redux need Thunk. It can be solved with others program, not only Thunk, but Thunk is included here in Redux toolkit, and this is the best practice. Here it is. Okay, and look at now how many terms there is here. Lot of terms. Declarative. Declarative programming is when we don't see 90% of code. It is in background, like here. Look at how big job it is here, but we see only this code. We don't see connection with extra reducer, but it is it is little code with the job what this Thunk must and all that described here must to do. Again, a result of Thunk is this action. This is type of action, and right is payload. Here is when it's all okay, fulfilled. We have look at the object. It is type, and from this type of action, extra reducer will create status. Status would be loading, and here not loading but fulfilled. Yeah, loading is for pending. Here is pending, and here is pending, and status is loading. And here is a type, and here is a payload. Some reference, nothing important. But when we have fulfilled, we have type. It is plain object. Type of action, and payload. Like we know for a reducer before, without asynchron. We have for a regular reducer in post slice. We had before, when don't need asynchronous fetch data, we have plain object, type of plain object, and payload. This payload will be concat, and was concat to empty initial state. Concat to post, only post. There is no error, and there is no display of error, only pending and fulfilled. And this is a final result of Thunk, and all about that. Final result of Thunk: declarative programming, asynchronous programming, asynchronous fetch data, keyword asynchronous wait, extra reducer, dispatch method of store, functional programming, all about that in the next video. See you later. Thank you for watching this video.